Hello and welcome. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Today I would like to talk about the signs. What happens if we choose to follow them, ignore them, and anyway, what are those signs? I'm pretty sure you all came across the term signs or follow the signs when you started to go into this journey, the journey of knowing yourself or knowing your environment internally, not externally. And I was the same. Um, I had some sort of knowledge or encounter with science before, mostly as a form of deja vu, I would say. And depending on your mood, your state of well being, you would take this as something you have to follow or something you have to ignore. Or you can look at them as like basically like a feedback, saying that, yeah, I'm doing the right thing, or no, I'm doing the wrong thing. So, what are those signs for me? Um, for me, the biggest sign for my awakening, to say, was the very cliche number 1111. And how I knew that it was the real deal is that I felt it in my soul and my heart and not so much in my mind. So I wasn't kind of thinking about it uh, as such, it just felt right. And this is how I kind of got to accept it, that this is like genuinely a sign for me. What other signs were there? Um, Praying mantis in these last 2 years or so. I had many encounters with praying mantises. What does it mean? You can look it up. What does it mean if you think that's the sign? And but how would it change your life? Like, does it give you anything? Does it have to give you anything? Or what does it even mean? So basically, it means nothing. You can take it as like, yeah, you are on like this great spiritual journey. Let's cut out the spiritual. You are in this great journey or on this great journey yourself, and everything goes in your way. You can take this one from it. Me personally, I couldn't really do anything with it. The other thing I'm pretty sure you heard about is the feathers. Feathers. Well, let's be honest. If you if you were to be in Rome, you would see a lot of pigeons, and definitely you would encounter many feathers. But if there is a feather, and the feather appears where it shouldn't appear, let's say in your room or somewhere, you could take it genuinely as a sign. And you could also look it up. What does it mean? Same with the numbers. Most numbers came up to 4 digit, I would say, came up as angel numbers. So, you could learn from that if you wanted to, if you need like a feedback. Like, what does it mean? What to do with it? But what is it? So the main thing is, what would this give to you? Why do we always need like this feedback, like this reassurance that, oh, we are on a wrong path or we are on a right path? Hmm, this is something I think we should think of. So yeah, as I said, for me, number 1111 was such sign or something, and because I felt it in my heart. And also, I'm quite wary about expressions. So sometimes we can take, like, for a sign, we can take it as a sign if we hear something and it really resonates, that, oh, I was just thinking the same, or I was just kind of saying the same, and then someone else says it. So we can take this as a feedback, a reassurance that we are on either on a right or on a wrong path. And depending on what day we are having at the moment, and that's also something we have to look up. I have to write it down, like good and bad days. And so, going back to the topic, um, do I ignore signs all the time? So let's say I wanted to integrate my light language. Um, Basically, I thought I would need to give it a name, like a proper name. So I thought that I'm going to do some Reiki. So I applied for a Reiki training. Applied once. I don't know. I couldn't go. Applied the second time. I was sick. I couldn't go. Third time applied, couldn't go. And then I told the little lady that actually I think I just shouldn't do it. It's either that I don't need it or it's not the right time for me. And she said the same that, so basically she thought the same that I really shouldn't do it at this point. And now what I learned from this, if anything, is I try to do things. Obviously, we all try. And if it doesn't happen at the first, then I try it another time. And if it still doesn't happen, I just leave it. I'm quite okay to leave it, like almost happy to leave it. So I'm not thinking about it, I'm not moaning about it. I just know that this is not the right time for me, either for me, or I don't need it for my development, or the situation is not right for this to actually happen, to come around. So if something, I take those things as a sign. So if I try something and it doesn't work out first, second time, I let it be. It doesn't mean that I'm not giving my best at the moment to try to achieve it or try to make it happen, but if you just can't push it, so you have to learn, not have to, you should learn not to push it and be okay with it. That's the most important thing. The other thing, I'm quite, when I'm ignoring signs, so now you can see many things online. There are like games also. What is your favorite dish, and join it together with your date of birth or something. So basically, they can get your date of birth, and then you might come across an advert, um, specifically starting at your date of birth. And then this is something you have to be aware of, that this is not a sign anymore as such. If it happens like on social media and it's been generated by a company, because they kind of use your information to suck you in a sense, to make you believe that, yeah, okay, so this is something you should do because even the stars said it. No, no, it's just marketing. And we all have buttons, and people, if they know how to push our buttons, then probably we're gonna react. And this is one of those reactions in regards of self-development. It's nothing else, nothing more. So going back to my light language, so I decided, okay, no Reiki anyway. So I was looking at another course. I looked at it before, and I always decided for personal reasons that I'm not gonna do it. Again, I was like, I looked at it, and this time I was like, okay, I am going to do it. And not because I really needed it. I'm still, I don't need it. It's just to give some name to my, not my light language, to give some name, a proper name to what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, I'm gonna do a video about it. Probably the next video is gonna be about that. And so I looked at the course and I was like, okay, I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to do it no matter what. And I looked at the curriculum. They write down like, what's going to happen or what other courses you can do. And it was just too structured for me, and I understood that it needs to be like that because it shows that it's really proper. It's not like some ooey wooey thing. So I admire this, but somehow it kind of made me not to want to do it in a sense, because I done like crystal course, and well, basically that's the only thing I done, and like a sound therapy course. But mostly what I'm doing is I'm using my intuition. So there is just so much you can learn, and then you kind of have to listen to your inner voice. That's the main thing, really, listen to your inner voice. So yeah, and going back to this course, and I was like, if something, I could have take this as a sign, because they started it on my birthday. So I was like, if I would be into these sign things in such extent, I would go like, wow, it starts on my birthday, so I have to really do it. But no, I didn't do it, because because something like, I don't know, I just didn't feel right, basically. And I know they didn't use this kind of AI technology to specifically advertise it, or it wasn't really meant to me, if you know what I mean. It just happened that it started on my birthday, but I could have taken this as a sign, but I didn't. So this is what I wanted to tell you, basically, or talk about you, that, not everything is a sign. A sign is just, again, there, something which is there. It makes you be more aware, maybe, so you can get a feedback, in a sense that, yeah, you are on the right path or you are in the wrong path, if there are such things as right or wrong path. Not necessary. So it's just like, you can use it as a reassurance. I would say it's pretty much the same with my drowsing, or tarot. um, and yeah, so, you can, with those, rather, you would go into the future. You would try to figure something out, like, or understand something a bit like further out, if there is a timeline in the future. But, you know it doesn't, most of the time it doesn't work, because what I learned also with my dowsing is that, it's kind of like, you take out the slice of the time, the texture of the time, and it's true then and then, but it might not be true an hour later, because some other things might have happened by then. So yeah, so please be aware that a sign can be a beautiful thing if you really feel it in your heart, and you don't really think about it. So if you see like a feather, you can be, your mind can be happy, saying that, oh, it's because the angels are here and they are looking out for me. But do you feel it in your heart? It's okay that you know this information, but do you really feel it, that it is like that? Or it's just something you wanna believe. So make sure you're not playing make believe with yourself, I would say, when it comes to signs, because everything is a sign, and yet nothing is a sign. And yeah, and it's always depends how you take it and how you look at it. So please try not to fool yourself, and I also try not to fool myself. So this is what I wanted to share with you today. Please let me know, if you want, what do you think about this, or if you have any other questions. I try to keep this video short at the moment, so I think I just try to say, like, the very basics, and then it gives you time to think about it. I would think most important is to not to think about it, think about it, but mostly to feel it, I would say. So thank you very much, and I see you soon. Bye.